Alright, gang, we're gonna try our hand at this Big Bertha right here. Replenish Bracken's magic, because of course. Actually, in Bracken's case, I don't even think it's magic, I think it's just plain chi. And Evan has an extra ball of energy. Frickin' how? Wow, he really is of a higher level.
I'm raring to go.
And I'm already frozen. At least with this thing, it's easy to dodge its laser attacks, so we can, pull off a combo. Problem is, this one is really big, so it's gonna be harder to directly dodge its laser attacks, because it's so freaking big. Oh, there we go. This one's at 125, so maybe we won't really be strong enough to win this one. I mean, we can beat this one easy, but the actual boss of this floor is gonna be another question. Oh, okay. Well, that worked out for the better, I guess. Oh! Did it by accident. But sometimes this happens without warning, so I pushed the wrong button by mistake. Otherwise, it's so big that its laser attacks can't even reach me, because I'm right up against it. Beating it so hard that it's phasing off the camera. Not the worst attack you could pull off on me, I was gonna say. Oh, that happened by accident again. Yeah, I don't know what I was worried about. I mean, it's strong. I mean, it's durable anyway. It's not really that strong. Especially when its attack is so easy to dodge up against it, so we can pull off this combo. I'm just purposely dodging to the lasers, and it's getting the combo. This is perfect. So I guess the one drawback with that is that you have to dodge it just as the laser appears, so you're close enough to it where it registers. So look at me understanding the mechanics. The mechanics of this combo. It's so fun. even though that attack affects me, I'm still pulling off the combo with it. It's not really that deadly of an attack. There's the finisher. Okay, that one was not very hard, but I predict I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to leave this place to go power up some more, and then I'm just gonna have to fight it again, but still not really that hard. At least we get to learn more about Ferdinand now. What am I supposed to do, Evan? I've been trying to get home, but it's not working. There's a strange force stopping me every time I try. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to wake up. This has never happened before. I don't know what to do. The nightmares are probably stopping you, but we're all here to help, so there's nothing to worry about. Thanks, Evan. Please don't think I'm completely useless, will you? I can send my mind through time, and I'm a quick learner, and I'm really good at sports. Oh, that's cool. Which might be why I've never felt so worried. My dad didn't tell me what to do if this happened.
Oh my.
He didn't? I mean, I'm sorry. Oh, that's alright. I'm just a bit frustrated, that's all. I'm sure he had a good reason. By the way, you said these memory lane places were made up of different people's memories, didn't you? Well, that must be true because I keep seeing familiar faces from around the castle. They're saying the same old things as always, but some of them look so much younger. I'm having lots of fun talking to them all. Okay, that clarifies it. So all these spirits in here, they're not the children of the characters, they're the actual characters. That's the Dina I know. You carry on enjoying yourself, and we'll clear the way of monsters. Alright, thanks, Evan. So that means all these characters pretty much reach the highest rank in their respective areas. Like Lee is the chief fortune teller, Floyd is the head chef. So that's really cool. I really like that. So let's meet some more of them. And now we got Longmane and Ferdinand. Okay. And Longmane becomes the head of the guards. Okay. You wish to test your mettle against me once more? Very well. Defeat me and I shall step down in order to allow you to become captain of the guards. Gosh, you used to be really small, didn't you, Longmane? This is going to be fun. Yeah, you used to be as small as you, apparently.
Wow.
Okay. So that pretty much... And yeah, he actually called him Longmane, so that pretty much confirms these are the same characters. So that's pretty cool. I just love all of these diverse characters. Unique designs, varying abilities, and goals and whatnot. I would love to see their relationships with one another. Like, I know one of the dog people made friends with one of the mermaids, and she made him race around the continent, like a swim race, and then he got sick. That's pretty cute. I'd love to see more of that around here. All the different races bonding.
Do my best.
Oh, hello there. Oh, there's a dragon. Nice. You're one of the mouse people. I'll remember your name. You're the chief clerk now. Oh, Norbert. Okay. I'm Norbert, the royal secretary. It's my duty to record everything from battlefield statistics to the contents of the prince's dreams. Okay, that's pretty cool. Nice little job you have there. It's pretty fun. Fighting this thing was probably a mistake. You're just gonna corner yourself there, okay. Ow! Dragon, now's your turn. Good enough, I guess. Good, give me a power up. Haha, too late. Any chests down here? There's not any chests in this area, then coming through here is pretty pointless. Dead end. Yeah, this area is pretty pointless with not needing a chest. I forgot your name, but you're the kid that tried to swindle 100,000 guilders. Oh, yeah, they're the miner. The prince is a gifted young man, very far-sighted for one so young. I, on the other hand, spent most of my pup attempting to separate tourists from their purses. Yeah, exactly. Alright, Muriel, you're one of my favorites. And, is that a dog or a cat? I think this is a cat person. You're the high alpaca herd. The prince was mean to the alpacas. I told him off for time and again, but he just won't listen. Okay, Ferdinand has a few flaws. I like that. Hoyden. Oh yeah, your name's Hoyden. And yet the young Tearaway supposedly fated to become a superior ruler to his father. It's hard to credit such a claim, I must say. So what, Hoyden is not the chief of anything? They're still just gonna call her Hoyden? I think Hoyden is... I don't remember what her job was. I think she's one of the fighters, so I guess she's still, general fighter or something, I don't know. It's kinda weird that she doesn't have, like, a rank. Okay, before I actually fight this thing, are there any... Okay, there's a chest in here. So I guess we'll fight these guys. This one is actually weaker than the one we just fought, so that's pretty cool. Really taken down pretty easy, like. No, he's dizzy. Nice. Standing there and taking my abuse, dude. You're not very strong at all. Still don't know what those are for. Now there's a person over here. Good thing I checked. And you're Chip. You're a pretty cool kid. You're one of my main army fighters. And you're not the chief of anything. You're still just Chip. I've been detecting all kinds of anomalous magical activity recently. Someone's coming for the prince. That's why I told him not to go outside. You think he listened to me, though? Yeah, right.
Hey.
Well, to his eyes, you're still a kid, apparently. You know, you're probably grown up. It'd be funny, though, if he was a grown-up, but he was still as short as when he was a kid. That'd be pretty funny. So what Big Bertha are we gonna fight now? What's the recommended level for this particular mission? Yeah, level 120. Okay. The overall mission is level 130, but this particular one is the 120, and we're getting there. We're almost at 120, so that's pretty cool. We're probably strong enough to beat the Pit of 100 Trials as well. Okay, so we're gonna fight one of these elemental gorillas. That's nice.
What's this?
And he has dialogue that I'm not gonna bother to read. We won't allow his... Okay, saying we won't allow his mind to travel through time. Also, my melee attacks do nothing to this Bertha. So this is a situation where guns beat hammers, pretty much. If I end up getting a melee attack, I'll go for it, but otherwise I'm going to stick to my guns. And I'm getting a lot of melee attacks now, even though they're not really going to do many favors. That was pretty nice range for the melee attack, I have to say. Actually, if there is a benefit to doing melee attacks, they actually replenish my magic. So I guess I should just try to do them anyway. Oh, that was an actual attack. I thought he was just powering up, but that kind of has an attack, apparently. It's extremely easy to get melee attacks off him, even though I'm not really in his range of attack. Well, no point doing it now, because I got enough machine. And I dizzied him without meaning to. Okay, while he's dizzied, I'm gonna power up my chi. Then shoot him at the butt. I didn't think I'd be able to dizzy him since I'm doing so little damage to with melee attacks, but I guess that worked out for the better, didn't it? Yeah, you're not very strong. You're more tedious, if anything. Ouch. And you completely missed me with that one, so yippee. And while that's happening, we can all heal ourselves. Being generous there. Alright, not too bad. Oh, this is epic. Oh, let me guess.
Hello.
The final room here is gonna be Evermore, or at least Evermore Castle, apparently. We destroyed even more than nightmares. Can he still not make it home? Because, like, before the final areas were, like, Cloud Coil Canyon, Hydropolis, I think actually the Pirate's Base in that regard. Not really one involving Broadleaf, ironically, and Ding Dong Dell, so I guess we're gonna have the Evermore Castle room. That's pretty cool. Evan, these memory lanes, they're made up of people's real thoughts and feelings, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Well, yes, but why do you ask? No reason. Dina? Oh, is he upset about something? What, are the citizens, like, talking behind his back or something? I know that, Muriel and etc., they were criticizing,
Yes.
I'll never be a great king like my father. Everyone thinks so, even if they won't say it to my face. Okay, so that is what he feels. Can't really go through the fog. It'd be fun if we could actually properly explore Evermore in these normal graphics, but of course the game won't allow that. So I know that Muriel was criticizing him for being mean to the alpacas, so... That's the only example I remember, though. Hello. Oh, yeah. You're right, your name's Hansel, now remember. Can the prince really be the son of such noble parents? He's such a puffed-up little so-and-so. Where's the humility, I ask you? Parents! Okay, who's the mother? I know it's Tanny, but still, we gotta say it out loud. The thought of him becoming king one day really is a worry. He'll be a pitiless despot, and no mistake. Also, his aura is purple, unlike most of the other spirits, so yeah, he's corrupted by darkness. Oh, you look a little angry. You are angry, aren't you? I'm sorry if I touched a nerve, but the truth can sometimes hurt. Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't condemn you there. So we actually have to talk to them in this one. Alright, Lily, what criticism do you have? You're one of my favorite dogfolk. You got a cool design. Dina, I've never heard of him, and that child I have never heard of never comes back from his latest little adventure in mind trouble. I certainly shall not be complaining. But a king must have an heir, you say. Then let him have another child. Let him try to make it a nice one this time. I don't think you really mean that, Lily. A nice new child without any strange and disturbing powers. Well, I mean, offhand, Lily seems too sweet to think that, but... It'd be cool if these characters had a few negative thoughts. That'd be pretty nice. Make it feel a bit more realistic, you know? Okay, so, yeah, I don't think you were here before. So I think more people are just appearing, because this area is actually pretty small as it is. The son of a king who was betrayed must in turn be betrayed himself. Ah, this latest development will surely go down as one of the most farcical episodes in history. You have not heard? His adoring people have sold him out to our enemies. That'd be pretty ironic. It would be better that he never returned. His subjects cannot bear him. I like to think that these people do generally think these things, but not in a serious way. Like, Ferdinand's just interpreting it the wrong way, pretty much. And you're gonna steal the throne, little Bow Wow, whatever your name is. Yeah, Bow Wow. We have no need of Ferdinand. Everyone has been happier since he left. I'm tired of being told that he, of all people, will be the king to unite the world. Perhaps if I biffed him squarely on the nose, he might think twice about telling such lies. Maybe I should biff him twice, just to be sure? More even?
Excuse me.
Is it me, or do the people in the memory lane feel mean all of a sudden? Don't done, Dina's still a runner. Oh no, we have to go and find him. Okay, Lottie says he up and ran or something. Okay, so that's actually the exit, so that makes sense. Alright, that was not really anywhere to explore here, but that was a pretty fun area. That was pretty nice. How did you guys get over here before I did? That was weird. Wonder which enemy we're gonna fight. Let's actually check the little monolith here, just to see what kind of enemy we're gonna fight. A four-legged beast. Okay, it's gonna be one of the centaurs. Well, the manticores, but same difference. Bracken's out of she, so let's fill her up some. Well, that gotta happen fast, didn't it? The memory lanes are made up of people's real thoughts and feelings, and they're gonna play the, Oakenheart. Yeah, this is Oakenheart's music. That means everyone really thinks those things they were saying about me.
Hello.
No, that's not what they really think. Can't you see? Something's wrong with this place. None of this is real. But it must be based on something real, mustn't it? Which means they must believe what they were saying at least a little. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I could always tell they thought that deep down, that I was stuck up and rude and badly behaved. I like this. I like how we're getting some real development from Ferdinand. And we're seeing a little bit of his flaws, what people think of him. This is pretty cool. I'll never be like my dad.
Oh, come on.
Will you please stop feeling so sorry for yourself? You're going to be a king one day, aren't you? And not just any king, an even better one than Evan, right?
No, listen here.
What's got under your skin all of a sudden, girlie? I'm not sure, but I know that what I'm saying is what he needs to hear. Tanny, you know you're his mom, and your motherly instincts are reacting. This is a cool shot. Anyway, haven't you been listening? They're all worried sick about you back home. They've been going on like that for ages now. Prince Ferd, wake up. If you do not, I'll be so sad. And that's, Hansel, he's the head gardener. And this is Lily, the chief fortune teller. I cast, with luck, it may guide you. Be strong. Return to... I know those voices. It seems he has... in a nightmare. We must do all we can... help him. And that's, I forgot the chief clerk's name already. And this is Bow Wow, Chief Miner. You are strong to this... to be... How will you surpass... otherwise? Never return! We will biff you, puffed hub prince with strange powers!
Flip it!
Well, the flip this thing is, and I like the look of it! It's you who trapped me in this nightmare, isn't it? Well, you won't keep me here any longer! There are people waiting for me back home. They're worried about me. I swore I'd be an even better king than my father, and I mean to keep that promise, which means I need to believe in my friends even more than he did, and not get tricked by stupid illusions. Dina! I'm not sure why they're doing this, but I think we know now why they came to this memory lane at least.
Yes.
They appear to want to trap the child here and break his spirit. Gar, does that mean there ain't even no high Pikmin to be had?
Hey,
Does that matter? The kid's in danger.
yeah.
We need to wall that thing and set Dina free from this nightmare. He has to make it back home.
All right.
We've only ever talked when we've met before, Dina, but now it's time to show you how I fight. Intriguing. If all of you perish here, what will become of our own age? I fear the answer, and yet I must see it come to pass.
I'll do my best.
The Nightmare Queen! And now we got the main theme song! Nice! This is epic! Holy frick, that was scary looking. Oh my god! At least you get the ball of a special attack on him. Okay, we're doing decent damage with our melee attacks, so this is good news for us. Gun attacks aren't that strong though. Okay, that was lucky. Yikes! Not really a bad attack. I mean, if we dodge it when we're up against him, then we can score melee attacks. That's pretty cool. Yikes! At least that wasn't an instant kill, except in Evan's case. I'm not gonna revive him yet. So yeah, definitely watch out for those flippin' light beam attacks.
Show us what you got.
He's frozen while he's doing that. Actually, I think it's a girl, the Nightmare Queen. So she's frozen while she's doing that, so perfect chance for a Dark Pikmin attack. Now we'll actually revive Evan just to be safe. Then we're gonna heal everyone because we're a bit low on HP. Oh, I could have got an attack there. I forgot what this is, but I'm gonna get away from him because I don't like the look of it. Oh. I thought the range was gonna be a bit bigger on that, but I'm glad it wasn't. It wasn't a very large range at all. Oh, that was lucky. This whole thing, though, really makes me want a Ni no Kuni 3 with Ferdinand as the protagonist. I just love a sequel to this kingdom-building type of gimmick. And the whole thing with Ferdinand really, it's really setting it up, isn't it? Okay, I like to get a combo attack off him before... Okay, that didn't work. Well, that thing wore off. But it's good enough, I guess. We'll revive Evan now. What? that was weird glitchiness. At least we got the finisher there, that's pretty cool. And now you're stunned. Oh, that was lucky!
Show us what you got.
Ah, nice. Really working out the timing of that whole thing. Pretty cool.
Now's your time to shine.
Use the normal Soraway. Really, normal Soraways are pretty useless at this point, aren't they? Okay, let's heal everyone now. So yeah, they're really setting up a Ni no Kuni 3 direct sequel to this game, with Ferdinand as the protagonist. And he'll go on, and he'll pretty much continue the journey and go to even more lands to form more contracts. And maybe he'll be partners with some of the children of these characters. But I think it'd be a bit cooler if you use main partners with new characters altogether, like new races. And that's another thing I have to criticize about the partners. I mean, while I do like the partners generally, it's kind of lame that we have all these races, but we only have human partners, not counting the fairy mascot. Like, I think it would have been more fitting if Evan had partners of their respective races, since he's trying to unite the people. Like, Bracken could have been a robot, well, she has a mechanical leg, so that really count, though. And, Leander could have been a merman. And, of course, Tinny and Batu, they're pirates. Let's get away from that. Okay, that was lucky. Super lucky. How good. Glad Tanny got healed. I had to waste the replenisher on her. Oh, that was lame. We didn't really have any partners for Gold Paul. Either way, it would have been cool if, like, Lily was a part of our main party. I like Lily. She's my favorite dog folk person. Time for the finisher, mate. Time for the finisher. Alright, that was pretty cool. I'm glad we were able to finish that one with our current level. It's like, if they did make an Ni no Kuni with Ferdinand as the protagonist, we should have more variety in the partners' races.
Oh.
So Dina did have something to do with the High Pikmin after all. I'm definitely gonna equip that one, just because. The boy would come to be known to future generations as King Ferdinand, the man by whose hand the first declaration to unite all the world would be signed. Just as the great seer Bodley prophesies on the day of his birth. He was raised in the happy comfort of Evermore, surrounded by smiles and people who loved him dearly. He inherited King Evan's wisdom and intellect, and spent his days listening to the heroic tales of his father's companions. It was they who impressed upon him his status as one chosen for greatness. And Ferdinand was possessed of a power that even his esteemed father could not boast. He was able to send his mind through time and space. It kind of reminds me of Kingdom Hearts, how you can send your soul through time. Except this works kind of differently, because there's no other Ferdinand waiting at the destination. Thanks to this great gift, he amassed wisdom far beyond his years while still a mere child. And with great wisdom comes great aptitude for magic. Truly, he is blessed beyond all measure. So blessed, in fact, that certain of his people could not help but balk at such precociousness. Upon learning that these whisperings were abroad, he curbed the urge to use his gift so often, but there was one journey his mind could not resist the urge to make. He had to know firsthand how his father had built the kingdom of Evermore, and so he traveled back to speak with him, with Evan's own blessing. On these visits, he learned of how his father, while still only a boy, united the 5 great realms under the Declaration of Interdependence. But these were not all the nations of the world. There were others, smaller perhaps, but nations just the same. Some were poor, some were locked in endless conflict, some even set the conquest of Evermore in their sights, like, Lucky Country, where Tyrant is supposed to be from. And for these sworn enemies of Evermore, nothing was more irksome than the seemingly perfect young king. For Ferdinand would send his fine mind soaring through time and space, and not a single scheme could ever hope to outrun it. His enemies realized at length that their only chance of thwarting the prophecy and preventing him from unifying all the peoples of the world was to eliminate him while he was yet young. See, this would make a great sequel! I mean, the only problem is we already know how it ends, because the epilogue shows Ferdinand succeeding and whatnot. But still, the journey is all that matters, and I would love to see the journey. I'd love to learn more about this world. They can try to hide themselves among the masses who flock to Evermore to build a better future, in hopes that an opening might present itself. And so it did. When the moment came, the young king was lured into a sorcerer's ceremony that robbed him of the ability to use his great gift. A powerful sorcerer could try to trap him in a memory lane through the use of nightmares they had come to be able to control. It was reasoned that if he could be trapped in a dream of times past, none from his own time would be able to help him. The nightmares did not strike at first. They bided their time, waiting for his resolve to weaken. And they would wait however long it took, be it years, or decades, or centuries. I don't think he lived that long, though. But in the end, they did not have to wait that long, for though Ferdinand was indeed a confident young man, he was yet young enough to doubt himself. So yeah, these are all the people we just met in the dream. Rather than attack him directly and risk kindling the flames of his defiance, the nightmares employed more subtle means to worm their wicked tendrils into the poor boy's heart. Surrounding him with familiar faces from his own memories of Evermore, they whispered cruel falsehoods within his hearing, slowly chipping away at his brittle self-belief. What if my people hate me? His deepest fears and his enemies' wicked machinations conspired to push him perilously close to disaster there in that strange place. But as luck would have it, Evan and his friends arrived in search of a high Pikmin and saved him from a fate worse than death. The young king was able to make his way home at last. When he arrived, he would have to face the foe who had gone to such great lengths to try and trap him. But he would prevail in the end. He was mighty Ferdinand after all. He was sworn to surpass even his father, and he did not intend to break that promise. Indeed, the events which unfolded there in that memory lane may be said to have set him on the path, for they represented his first true test as king, Ferdinand's very own trial of courage. I'm sorry to have dragged you into this, everyone, but thanks all the same. Without your help, I would never have come to my senses. But now I think I understand. Someone was controlling those nightmares. Someone from my own time. Interdimensional political intrigue. There's never a dull moment down these memory lanes, huh?
Flippin' heck.
Well, you have to be insanely powerful to do something like that, wouldn't you? Don't worry. Now that I got my powers back, I'm more than a match for anyone. Thanks so much for all your help.
But...
Are you sure you'll be alright? I couldn't bear the thought of you being in danger. This is my problem, and my time. I have to be able to solve it myself, with a little help from the people of Evermore, of course. And besides, it sounds like you have problems of your own to be worrying about. You needed this pigment for something, didn't you?
Evan?
Seeing you fight like that really gave me a confidence boost. If I've inherited even half your skills, I'll be just fine. So don't worry about me. You'll get back and do what you have to do, Mr. Savior. Well, I think all the savior business is pretty much dealt with. We have the final high Pikmin now, after all. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Anyway, see you in the future. Mother will be worried sick about me. I need to be on my way. Your mother? My wife. Remind me, who is it that I end up marrying?
Right.
I told you, I'm not supposed to interfere with the past. Sorry, but you're just going to have to wait to find that out.
Hey.
But I suppose it's not fair if I'm the only one of us with the secret. Alright, you have to promise not to tell the future me about everything that happened here, okay? If I learn about it from you first, I'll never be able to believe in myself enough to make a Pikmin. I think I better make this my last bit of mind trouble for now, too.
See you.
Anyway, bye, Father. Soon. Yeah, you can't say that Tanny is the mother when she's right there. That's another running gag with the Ni no Kuni games, is that we always know one parent of the protagonist, we don't know who the other parent is. Like, we only know Evan's father and Oliver's mom, and, in this case, Ferdinand's dad, being Evan. They're back, they're back! Hello, hello, hello! And hello to this little fellow, too! Our last side Pikmin at long, long last! Wait, so, we just met your son? We just met your son, Evan! Ha! He didn't look anything like you! So you wind up calling your son Ferdinand, huh? I like your style. Aiming him after the first king ever to unite the world is a nice touch. No, we must count ourselves lucky that we were troubled by the fearsome future. So he was, and you was, and we was. Got me heads fit to burst with the mess of it all. Why don't they let me read this text normally? Why does it auto-scroll? That doesn't make any sense. Sorry, Leander, I can't finish your line. But, yeah. We're naming him after the first Ferdinand because he is the first Ferdinand. Don't you guys get it? Well, let me congratulate you all on a job well done. That's all the high Pikmin accounted for at last. 2 million experience. Can you say that someone from the future was controlling the nightmares this time? It's a good thing that you got our little friend out when you did. A happy ending for one and all. I thought Batu was talking. We can't just leave the nightmares alone now, can we? They'll only keep causing trouble. But trouble of a sort you need not concern yourself with, surely. After all, they are only able to cause mischief in memory lanes.
Come on.
Well, for now at least.
Well,
Indeed, one of them spoke of escaping the confines of the memory lanes. Surely it is only a matter of time. You really think so? Truly? Really and truly? Shouldn't be a little more worried about this? I hate to remind you, but the doors will come through all open right here in your little hideout. Perhaps it is a little risky to lead them to their own devices.
listen here.
Ah, come now, Kirsty. Do you expect us to believe you had us chased around after all your cursed spritlings? Only it had this end there, you long-eared swindler, yeah?
Hello.
Of course we can't lead them to their own devices. We have to stop them. We have to stop the Horned One. We already stopped the Horned One! Canonically, the Horned One is defeated. That's why you knew Ferdinand was your son, idiot! You're so stupid. What's gotten into you? Oh, forgive me. This has nothing at all to do with the Horned One. Oh no, the source of this particular wickedness lies somewhere else entirely.
What?
It does! But, oh, things get so exciting from here on out. So few people know the truth of it all. Will you go there with me? Will you set foot in that place? Will you become true saviors at long last?
Oh.
Are you alright?
Flippin'
You're all excited because you thought we bet out once all that Pikmin stuff was done and dusted, didn't it? Hoo-hoo! Excited is putting it mildly, my little yellow friend. This is all a test. Yes, a test. I'm so happy you passed it. So very, very happy. If you really, truly meant what you said, at least. If you awaken from the stream and dive into it again and still feel the very same way. If you do, then the sacred duty of the true saviors awaits. Oh, yes it does. You're the mastermind, aren't you? And we all level up. I'm fine with that. Let's equip this Pikmin. We're gonna move you out because I think you're getting kind of old, dude. Let's replace you with a new Pikmin as well. Let's get this one. What? What? Swings are the Pikmin cost limit! That's stupid! That was never part of the game! Seriously, since when was this a mechanic? So stupid. That was never a mechanic. Fuck is this shit? Fine. I'm at least keeping that guy out. Okay, there's a new thing down here. Probably not gonna be anything, it's probably gonna be another stupid manual.
Excuse me?
I like Speyo, though. I dreamed last night that I was playing with a young boy with blue hair. When I awoke, I was surprised to find this letter under my pillow. Hey, I'm talking about Ferdinand. So I guess you become friends with Ferdinand. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's just return to the Midnight Garden and see what happens. Calm down a bit now, have you? There you all are. Well, are you ready? Seems a bit less nutty than last time at least. Thank Flip. You must forgive me. I was just so happy. It's taken so many thousands of sleepy times to get here. Thousands and thousands and thousands. I was overwhelmed at having finally found you. One's worthy of the name of Savior at last. And the fact that you're back means you're ready to get to work, correct?
Hello.
Can I ask you something? I thought you wanted to find Savior so you could get them to help you defeat the nightmares. But you didn't, did you? You wanted us to help you wipe out the wickedness that they're made from altogether. The strange force that takes monsters and does all kinds of other evil things. Hoo-hoo! You've hit the nail on the head and the bullseye smack dab in the middle, my boy! I see that diving headlong into the contents of all those people's hearts has taught you a thing or two. You are, of course, entirely correct. If we can force the evil to disperse, we won't just rid ourselves of the nightmares, we'll be able to wipe out all those tainted monsters, too, and who knows what other evil. So all the dark creatures will be gone? That seems unusual. But such a thing ain't possible, Shardy. Nothing is impossible, my friend, especially with the power of the High Pikmin on our side. Auto-scroll, yippee. Yay, it's all these Pikmin that I can't frickin' use because there's apparently a limit. the light of these little fellows to guide you, you won't lose your way, even in the deepest, darkest depths of the most mixed up of memory lanes. And now you can begin your true work as saviors. You can rescue our world from peril, just like the great hero who signed the pledge and took the wizard's companion in hand so long ago. And by rescue a world from peril, I of course mean rescue Zion, god of gods, from a fate too terrible to imagine. Only now do you think to mention the god of gods? Hang on, he up and left that world a bajillion years ago, didn't he? You're not trying to tell us all this wicked tedious stuff has something to do with him, are you? I most certainly am not. How can you think such a thing of the one who granted you your powers? Mighty Zion once ruled over this world with his fellow gods, but it has been countless years now since he entrusted that task to the kings and their kingmakers and withdrew. But the king's wind, on which you kingmakers rely for your powers, flows directly from him still. Flip, is that so? Well, I never.
What?
How did you not know something that important, Lofty? He had no need to know that this is so is a testament to how far this world has come. But all is well no longer. The problem lies with the King's Wind itself. Once it has flowed to this world, Master Zion no longer controls it. And it's all the races, that's pretty cool. This is a cool mural. And when it happens to flow into a human heart, it changes, and not for the better. This is how the wickedness is born. Grief, grudges, resentment. Their darkness taints the holy wind and turns it into a force for evil. Okay, they're implying that the Grimalkin and Mousekind are enemies, that's true, but are they implying that the dog folk and the mer people were enemies? When was this ever implied? Like, I know a dog person is friends with the mermaid in Evermore. Their darkness taints the holy wind and turns it into a force for evil. You may have heard it said that the history of your world is one of conflict. That conflict has not been without consequences. Master Zion could not help but be affected by it. And unfortunately for him, his bond with the people of this world is not one that can be severed. So all that evil, it wasn't the Horn One after all, it was the collected misery of the ages. It was, and it continues to be, and without your help, it will come to choke this world entirely. I'm sorry, do you mind if I ask who you are? Who you really are? Whatever do you mean? I am the conductor, no more, no less. I was asked to conduct this world to safety, and that is what I intend to do, with your help, of course. Which leads me to the last and greatest favor I have to ask of you. I want you to help me rid the God of Gods of the evil that assails him. The closer the light of the High Pikmin gets, the more the wickedness will try to fight back, and it will doubtless form countless nightmares to defend itself. But the closer to Master Zion you can take them, and the more nightmares you can destroy, the closer we will come to cutting off the evil altogether. So basically it's a bucket load more nightmares, Wallopin, is it? Business as usual, in other words. Why didn't you just say so, man? The time has come for me to guide you to the place where Master Zion resides, that ominous door in the tree. If he had come this far only to flee at the final hurdle, it would have been the end for this world.
Not exactly.
How do you even say something like that? This is what needs doing for our world to survive? Then savior or otherwise, it's my duty as King of Evermore to do it. And that's why I won't stop until every last nightmare is gone. The time to open the final door has come. Creepy. You know, this might just be the most important thing to happen in this world since ancient times. May the path to Zion, God of Gods, stand open once more. And may you guide this world to a future free of fear.